Hey, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, peace and salutation to the elect and all the brothers pushing this work in sincerity and truth. This is Brother Thamaya from GMS Toronto, coming at you with another video. Uh, this video is going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking about unclean foods that's in the waters that you cannot eat, and clean foods that's in the water that you can eat. Okay? In this time, our people have lost their way, and they indulge in a lot of delicacies, so to speak, when it comes to a balanced diet, right? Or a healthy and righteous diet, because the Lord gave us food, especially when it comes to the waters, food that we can eat and food that we cannot eat. So now you're seeing the FDA pretty much warning the public not to eat certain great value frozen shrimp. But that's how you know Esau. He's only concerned about his money, right? He's not saying here that he's gonna cut shrimp out and say, oh, you shouldn't eat shrimp anymore. He's just saying certain frozen food, right? Certain frozen shrimps at Walmart due to possible contamination with a radioactive isotope. Okay? The Lord gave us specific orders when I'm talking about us, talking about the Israelites, right? You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and all that comes from the fathers of those three groups that I called out. Okay? Because they're not going to look like all of us. They're going to look like Edomites. They're going to look like Moab, and so on and so on. Okay? This law is for you, right? The Lord told us not to eat shrimp. All right, let me get that in the scripture in Leviticus 11 and 9. It says here, these shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and the rivers, them shall ye eat. All right? So, a shrimp doesn't have scales, right? It says in verse 10, and all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. Okay? They shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcass in abomination. Right? Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. Right? So that's the fishes that are clean and unclean. It never named. Scripture never said not to eat shrimp and crabs, but the description of the things that the characteristics of these fishes, and that's mentioned here. That's what you shouldn't eat. This is that should be an indication, an enzyme, a sign of the things that you shouldn't eat in the waters. So when you see people getting sick from eating shit like this, you've been warned. Our people have been warned not to eat shrimp. Okay, you know what? Fishes with scales. Fishes without scales. Besides the shrimp and lobster and crabs, right? And scallops. Let's see what we have here. Catfish, hogfish, lampreys, eel, most species, right? Sharks, rays, stingrays, right? And angelfish, right? These are the fishes without scales. And these are fishes are off limit. And I think they forgot the kingfish, right? Kingfish also. Right, this is the kingfish, king mackerel. Do not says here, do not lack scales. They are actually covered in small, fine scales. I'm not talking about this fish. I'm talking about the Caribbean kingfish. The Jamaicans eat it. The Caribbean people eat it. People from St. Vincent eat it. Anyways, let's get back. There's a reason why the Lord have us, his people, to not eat these things, because you get diseases. You can get swollen mouth. You can be allergic to these things because what these things are packed with, they're packed with mercury, right? Shrimps. Mercury, okay? Because what they do, they clean up the whole fucking bottom of the ocean, man, right? And what's down there is all waste from other fishes. So it's pretty much poisonous. It's a poisonous cesspool down there, and the shrimp cleaned it up. If it's not for the shrimps and the crabs and the and certain fishes that are bottom feeders, these things, the water will be stink. Okay, so when you catch shrimps, or you buy shrimp from the store, or you buy crabs, or you buy mussels, or those what do you call it, the aphrodisiac one that you guys think is an aphrodisiac, you dumbasses. When you eat those, you're literally eating everything that these fishes or these bottom feeders taken in from the bottom. So as you know, shrimp is not full of mercury, which is bullshit. It is full of mercury, right? Because it cleans up the water. And what's in the water? Mercury. Just like the jack, is it the jackfish? Is it the I forgot the fish that's packed in mercury. Mussels. Okay? Aphrodisiac. Sorry. Right? This bullshit right here. People think that this is an aphrodisiac. This also includes with the fishes that don't have scales, okay? This is also included because you niggas like to eat shit like this, especially the black woman. This is her favorite pastime, right? I don't know where they got this shit from, that this is an aphrodisiac. This is full of mercury, okay? Or would you want to eat something that look like this? These are the things that the Lord commanded us not to eat. Stuff like this, right? Mussels, calamari. What's a calamari again? Okay. There's no benefits to eating shit like that. Shit like this, okay? Squid, right? You gotta be out of your mind to be eating a squid, man. And before we came into the truth, we ate all these abominations. We ate all of them. We ate all of these food, right? Calamari. This is what it looks like. Clearly, don't have any scales, right? These are all bottom feeders, man. They clean up the ocean, right? They're food for something else, you know. I know these dumbass Christians always talking about, but anything that the Lord made is good. Anything that the Lord made is good. Let me get it in Timothy's, okay? Timothy 4:4, I think. Yeah, Timothy's 4:4. First Timothy 4:4. It says here, so every creature of God is good, and nothing to be refused, if it be received with thanksgiving. So this is not talking about eating food, man. Okay, because the Lord didn't command us to eat shrimp. He literally told us not to eat these things, right? So when the Lord was making all the creatures, all right, let's get to Genesis. Let's go to Genesis, and we'll come back to that. Genesis 1, right? Let's see what the Lord was making, and it says, let's see what he said. In the beginning. Okay. See what it says here? Verse 4. And Yahweh saw the light, and it was good. and Yahweh divided the light from the darkness. Okay. Every time the Lord makes something, He always said it is good, right? Uh, because let's see, right? It's verse 16, right? 1 and 18, and it says here, the rule over the day and over the night, and divided light from darkness, and Yahweh saw that it was good, right? Let's see what that word means. To be desired or approved of. So the Lord approved it, right? When He was making all the whales, verse 21, right? And Yahweh created whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly, right? After their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And Yahweh saw that it was good. So it was approved, right? So not Yahweh here. This is the angels, actually, the Elohim, which is plural. Angels saw it was good, man, right? It was approved. Let's see what it means again. See that? To be desired or approved of, right? So all these whales, all of these, let's get back to Timothy. First Timothy 4. All right. First Timothy 4 and verse 4. For everything, for every creature of Yahweh is good. Okay, it's approved of. All right, and nothing to be refused if it shall be received with thanksgiving. For it is sanctified by the word of Yahweh Shem Shai and prayer. Right. So what's the benefit of the shrimp in the waters? Their main reason, the main purpose is to clean the water, so that make that animal good, not good to eat. Okay, what's the purpose of a pig? It is made to clean up the earth, right? It's another bottom feeder. That means it is good. It was created to clean up the earth. That's the purpose of a pig. So it's approved of. All right. What's the purpose of these heathens? They're made to serve the Israelites. That make them perfect, right? They're approved of. They're good. The heathens are good, right? So if you see where I'm going with this, right? All the animals and creatures that the Lord made, they're all made to do something that they were created to do, which is what one's made to clean up the earth, the other one's made for food. Okay? So the Lord didn't make any mistakes when He said you can't eat a shrimp or lobster or fishes like catfish. You cannot eat those, man. Those are not made for that. They're made to clean up things, right? So those are perfect in the Lord's eyes, man. Right? They're perfect bottom feeders. When you take those animals to the mouth, no wonder you end up with all manner of diseases. Why do you think all these diseases are in the Bible and tell you if you don't keep His laws, He's gonna put these diseases on your ass, right? It's because of the diet. The dietary law is still in effect, man. It's still in effect. There's certain foods that you can eat and certain foods you cannot eat. Esau not telling you to not eat these food because he's looking out for your health. No, he's just protecting his ass. He just doesn't want to get sued, right? Let's see what an isotope is. Isotope definition. It says here isotope is a form of chemical element where atoms have the same number of protons but a different number of neutrons. Fucking mercury, okay? These shrimp are full of mercury. That's all it is. Poison your ass, right? So don't be alarmed when your mouth gets swollen, your stomach is grumbling, make you feel like you want to throw up and shit at the same time, right? Get food poisoning because these food are not good to consume. The Lord gave us fishes with scales for a reason. Niggas always talking about hold on, let me get back to my point. Right? Fishes with scales. You have billions of fishes with scales, man. You get trout, bass, salmon, Dr. Fish. Freaking so many fishes in the sea, man, with scales that you can eat. Sardines. Okay? So many fishes. But niggas still wanna go and eat shark and bakes. Okay? Shark and bakes. This garbage right here. Shark and bakes. Bacon shark is a traditional food dish of Trinidadian cuisine prepared using fried flatbread, shark meat, and additional ingredients. It is a classic street food dish that is solid uh, at a multitude of food stalls and cook shops all over Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, you can have this in anywhere in the Caribbean, but I think Trinidad is the first place to make this a dish, I guess. Right? So this is where niggas die. That's why you have high cholesterol, diabetes, and all kind of shit. Right? And this is the reason why Esau put all these things in the food, because he wants to contaminate the children of Israel. This is what it comes down to. You know? Prior to when did people start eating? Because this bottom feeders. Let's put bottom feeders. Prior to that, everyone knew that shrimps and all these other food they were fed to prisoners, man. People started eating bottom feeders or bottom dwelling seafood like oysters and shrimp at least. Oh my god, this is just garbage. In the early 1900s, okay? I'll just get right to the point. That's when people started eating shrimp, okay? People started eating bottom feeders such as lobster and long before the early 1900s, but the perception of them shifted from cheap food, which they are, for the poor, to a luxurious delicacy in the late 19th century. Okay, that's the information I wanted. But prior to this, people weren't eating this shit, okay? People were eating real fishes, right? They may have slipped up and eat some catfish, or whatever the case may be, because before, apparently you could have just walked down to certain bays and just pick up fishes on the shore, on the shoreline, before they started building condos and all this bullshit, and factories polluting the water, you know. But yes, let's get back to the point. Shifted from cheap food for the poor to a luxury delicacy in the late 1900, the 19th century, transforming consumption and making them a prized item by the early 1900s. This change was largely driven by the development of the American railroad system, which made it easy to transport seafood and broaden its appeal. So you motherfuckers are, you've been bamboozled. Now we're paying a bunch of money for cheap food that's a bottom feeder that you're not even supposed to be eating, that poison you. Okay, it says here in the 1700s, lobster were so plentiful along the coast of Massachusetts that they would wash up on beaches in piles. Exactly. No one was eating that shit. Okay, no one was eating them because they were there to clean up the water. And I can bet you the water in Massachusetts was so clean, but now they're all gone. Right? You fish out these crabs and these lobsters and shrimps, and now look at what you have. Nothing. Okay, the waters are in dire need of some shrimp, man. Every fucking week you see these guys with the shrimp boat. Right? Remember that movie Forrest Gump? Remember Bubba and Forrest Gump? This guy name on all the fucking ways you can do shrimp. Remember that? Remember that scene, right? Bubba on shrimp scene, right? Bubba talk about so many ways you can. This man will talk about shrimp all day, man. right? This man would talk about shrimp, and he went on for talking about shrimp for like a couple of days, man, and all the ways you can eat shrimp, right? And then he's like, oh, I think that's it. Curry shrimp, fried shrimp, um, stir fry, all kind of shit this man was talking about, man, right? But we're not supposed to eat these foods, these abominations. This is the fastest way to end up in the hospital, and so many people have died eating shrimp, man. And it's not because they're allergic; it's because you're not supposed to eat these things. Your body doesn't, especially the Israelites, man. The black women love to eat this fucking. You know what? How many people died? People have died after eating shrimp due to severe allergic reaction, bacterial infections like Vibrio, or parasitic infection from consuming contaminated or undercooked shellfish. There are so many myths about shrimp causing death. It's not a myth. If people are dying, such as a false claim that eating shrimp with vitamin C causes arsenic poisoning, it is important to cook shrimp thoroughly and be aware of potential allergies. There's no such thing as allergies. They're just not supposed to eat this. Once you eat it, it's like saying you're allergic to arsenic. Once it enters into your system, you're gonna fucking die. It's poison. Same thing with the shrimp. Shalom.